All right, okay, my life. All right. So I saw this Twitter meme, and it literally fits perfectly for GEITEV, and I took like I took like half a glance at it, and I just knew it was so unbelievably. It was just so wrong. Like it was just so wrongly placed. I can give pretty accurate assessments for every update. And I can give I can give accurate for every update. Just that I can't give visual for anything class 1.2 because I don't have their museum set up yet because I'm not in those versions. So I'm just gonna go of when these things were added, and here's the Twitter meme, and there's just so much wrong with it. So 1.0, right? 1.0 got put in I don't know, man. Where do you want me to put it? Which is below F tier, and it's just unbelievably bad because one, it added enchanting, so you can actually enchant stuff. Literally, all my tools are enchanted. All my armor is enchanted. I think there's more things in my inventory aside from this junk that I need to get rid of. There's literally more things in my inventory enchanted. Okay, I know I look like I'm biased, but no, I just genuinely don't want a cluttered inventory. I have more things in my inventory enchanted than there are not. Like if you have unenchanted tools in a long-term survival world, you're doing something wrong. It added the end. It added the end. It added the dragon fight. You can see here dragon egg. So that's also important. It added a whole dimension. So I feel like that this should be like this is like an S tier update already. Enchanting on the end. It added the mushroom island, which frankly is one of my favorite biomes. Not for like I'm not basic. I just like purple. Nether brick is pretty cool. Almost every music disc in the game. Like, I'm pretty sure from like the game's history, like anything before 1.17, there was like every single up until I believe it was 1.16, every single music disc in the game except for 13 were added in this update. This means everything that you're nostalgic for was added in this update except for Cat, and no one likes 13. Let's be honest. Not only that, I had to split this museum into two parts. The only time I've ever had to do that, by the way, was this museum 1.0, and because of potions. It added it added a lot of potions. So poison, swift slowness, poison regen, strength weakness, healing harming, and of course fire. So instantly 1.0 needs to be put in S tier. Then 1.1 was C tier. Honestly, so here's what 1.1 added. In this thing here, let me turn down my render distance because I don't want to cause all this lag. The 1.1 added spawners. And I'm pretty sure there were a few other things. It was like beaches and the ability for apples to be dropped from leaves. That's like really it. 1.1 added nothing. And to get C tier, I don't know. I mean, I mean, it didn't do anything wrong. Wait, where is it? I'm gonna bookmark this just in case I lose it. I'm not afraid to show my Twitter bookmarks, so it's whatever. But 1.1, oh god, dude, so many of these are so wrong. 1.1, it's not a bad update, but it didn't really do anything. It really should have just been a sub 1.0.1 update. It should have been a sub shit. I'd put it in D tier just because it's kind of like an update that doesn't do anything. Literally, if it wasn't for me playing weird and getting illegal items, there wouldn't be a 1.1 museum. I literally thought it was forgotten in that tier list. So commonly just not. So next is 1.2, and it got put in B tier. 1.2 does not have a name. It just added. Oh, are you fucking with me? Seriously? Well, I got it. Well, please give me luckily. Well, that's like the worst part about this is pregnant saplings. Oh, I almost broke that. There's like it's like a 2.5. Oh my god. That is so frustrating. Okay, so 1.2. Okay, but before we get into this, it didn't add much on its own, right? Jungles, fire charges, and a couple planks and sandstone, but it sets a precedent, right? Okay, because dude, oh yeah, I crossed the chunk. So it's set a precedent, right? So beta 1.0 had and basically, if they were adding beta 1.2, beta 1.2, this is different from 1.2. Let's just keep this in mind. So if these were added in beta 1.2, oh my god, it's so laggy, it's ridiculous. And punks were added 1.2. There's punks in here and yeah, that's what it did. It would be the 1.2 on its own doesn't really but it does set a precedent, and a pretty important precedent, because otherwise you go all the way to a cherry grove biome and you get what, a bunch of nothing. So just a bunch of blocks. So I think it set a pretty important precedent. Oh, I kind of forget this chest exists. I always thought that was cool. So it sets a pretty important precedent. Let's take one of these. That I think definitely should be uplifted a lot more. So yeah, while I can see why it would get B tier, I can agree with it almost. I can agree with it. But I think it should be A tier. I don't think that's outrageous. 1.3. Where is 1.3? Did it... Wait, 1.7. Okay, 1.3. Alright, let's see it. Okay, so it added, all the slabs and types. It added bark plants. It added enchantable apples, emeralds, and trading. So yeah, A tier, honestly, I can agree with that. There's nothing else. 1.4, though. This is like pretty essential. And also, like, emeralds trading. It added emeralds trading and ender chest. And I kind of want to put that in S tier. I don't know, maybe A tier works. S tier, I kind of we're throwing hands. So 1.0 is the only thing in S tier right now. But here's what 1.4 added. It added anvils, which I don't know if you've ever looked at all of my gear. All of these were were from anvils. All the mending, everything is from anvils. Also, look here. What's this? Oh, it's just a nether star because it added. We're just gonna break you. Okay, cool. It's like box that pisses me off. Anyway, so it added the beacon. Also, flower pots. Honestly, underrated block. I wish I could use them a lot more. I've only used them once, and they were toast on them, so I think I'm gonna use them. Although I definitely don't build cozy a lot. Look at that. I got a meatball, brutalist, a gothic tower. I don't really build cozy, but some flower pots would have worked pretty well there. But it doesn't matter. No, iron bars were great at 1.8. So it added anvils and beacons. What else did it add? Mob heads. And I don't know about you, but I really like mob heads. So 1.4, I don't know, the whole thing with... Also, this is just here because for decoration. Added night vision, invisibility, and night vision, which are pretty good. Mob heads, beacons, and fireworks, which fireworks also, yeah, I got this one without MVP. I think it's because I downgraded. So it adds enchanted books, withers, firework rockets, gold carrots, beacons, mob heads. This is just an S tier update. Honestly, I'm only sad that I gave it such a mediocre build. Actually, I kind of like the build though. It looks bad from the outside, but the inside, give it. It's the only time I've ever used redstone in the build, by the way. Funny enough, I didn't for the next one, which is the redstone update. I didn't even mean to segue that. And he put it at A tier. And actually, yeah, I can agree with this one. The takes only get worse further on. This added hoppers, redstone blocks, daylight sensors, dispensers, hoppers, comparators, quartz, all these quartz elements, and TNT. So yeah, I'm giving this A tier update, but however, I'm biased. So, because I'm a redstoner, so, yeah. 1.6, the horse update. Listen, I was a redstoner. This is your update. So what did it all add? It added terracotta, which at the time was called hardened clay. But one, no one uses terracotta. Even then, I didn't use it at the time. I used wool. And two, two, concrete's better nowadays. So terracotta is just really obsolete. Terracotta kind of sucks. Second thing I added was carpet. And honestly, I like the old. I liked. I used. I never really used these. I kind of fell into the habit of using wool anyway. I never really cared for it. You know, I would just use wool. Like I would just break the block below it, and place wool. And just being able to place carpets on top is nice, but I don't know. That wouldn't be enough to justify A tier. It did add horses, that had name tags, leads, and horse armor, but that's just not enough to justify A tier. This is a C tier update. Like it's pretty bad. Well, not bad, but it's just not that good. To put it in the same tier as 1.16 and 1.13 is ridiculous. And now for this is 1.7, the update that changed the world. And now don't get me wrong, it's a nice update. It's a nice update. But to put it as the only one in S tier, like, let's really think about this. Like, all right, here, like, okay, what are the splits of Minecraft? So, of course, there's like free classic, alpha, indev, alpha, beta. But what about modern Minecraft? That's like most of the game's history. Like, all of those splits were 2009 to 2011. This is 2011 to 2025. So, what are the eras? There's 1.0 to 1.8 because 1.9 was crazy. 1.13 to 1.16 because 1.13 was crazy. 1.17 because 1.6, 1.16, 17, 18. That was just kind of a whole crazy thing. And then 1.18 onwards to 1.21. Game. Those are crazy huge updates. 1.7, nothing to sneeze at, really. So it added all these new flower types. Well, not these two. Of course, those were added all the way back in Classic. But it added these. It added these flowers. These flowers, these flowers. And don't get me wrong. I love the allium. It is my favorite flower in the whole game. Better than Forest Flower and Pitcher Pod, just because it's purple and I'm biased, and also the nostalgia. It added Acacia and Dark. It added fish and water breathing oceans, which actually don't get a use until later update with ocean monuments. Mesa biomes, Podzol, which don't get me wrong, I love Podzol, and stained glass. So these are all amazing features. Like, this is one of my favorite updates. That's why I gave it such a nice build. But to put it in S tier, the place where 1.0, the place that added the update that added the end enchantments and Mushroom Island, 1.9 that added the elytra. How many times have I used the elytra in the stream alone? It's like ridiculous. 1.16. Have you seen the Nether beforehand? Like 1.7 is awesome, but it's not S tier revolutionary. It's high A tier, but no, that's kind of insane. 1.8. So 1.8, I'm gonna try block, and that's why I built the whole prismatic citadel. But I added andesite, granite, diorite, slime blocks. My goat. Prismarine, sponges, red sandstone, that stuff. New foods, leafy potions. Leafy potions are my favorite color of potions, funnily enough, even though I am a purple freak. Banners, door types, fence gate type, and fence types. This is the where did he put it? I would put it. A tier is pretty good, but honestly, Prismarine's its only real feature. You know, like Prismarine's its only like a hot moment. You know, it's its only real defining trait. Honestly, so I think it's overhyped. Like the only reason people know about 1.8 is just because it's before 1.9. The reason you hear about 1.8.9 is just because it's not. So really, it only gets B tier for me. This one isn't too outrageous, but 1.9, C tier. What am I using right now? I am using an elytra. This was added in 1.9. This by itself makes it an A tier update. Just that. Not only that, it adds crystals. It adds the outer end islands. It makes the end like it gives you a reason to go to the end. That's why I say the end was added in 1.9. The end was added in 1.0, yes, but it was real. But it was just like kind of a drop by, fight the dragon, and then you don't go to the end ever again. However, 1.9 give you a reason to go to the end multiple times. You can get multiple elytras. You can get this cool ass mob head, one of my favorite ones. End rods, all these forest fruits, and some You need to stay there. Entering potion arrows have some really cool uses. So just kind of that setup. Okay, I thought my game crashed. Also, listen, I play half art hardcore, right? And the shield is a damn life changer. Also, I gotta forget that you can do that. It's a damn life changer. Like, let's just be honest here. So the shield the shield and the Elytra, this was just so insanely game changing. 1.9 games. It's just like not don't even have to think about it. C tier, no. If you put it in F tier, I'd be like, okay, I get it. Some people don't like it, but C tier is probably the most unreasonable one. Like, pick a side. What the hell? 1.10. Yeah, it's a pretty C tier update. Honestly, here's everything that was added in 1.10, said in one breath. Red nether brick, bone block, nether wart block, and magma block. That was it. It also added polar bears and something else that I literally forgot. That's how bad the Frostburn update was. It's just a poor update. Literally everything in this version just kind of got overshadowed. Polar bears broke the Mojang's rule of, hey, no adding hostile real-life mobs. Nether wart blocks just were useless until 1.16. No one has ever used red nether bricks. Bone blocks were never used until 1.16 because of soul sand values. Magma blocks were only used because of 1.16. This update by itself literally just added shitty decoration. Shitty decoration. Okay, no block is shitty, but mid. Actually, mid, a little bit better than mid because I like the white texture. Wow, thank you for freezing my game there. Oh, is there a chunk border here? Yeah, there is. It blows my tower. Look at that. Oh. I guess not. Okay. Then there's 1.11. So 1.11 is honestly one of the most underrated updates. I'm giving it S. Listen, it's above 1.13 even for me. Because here's what it adds. If you're a redstoner, there is one block that is just carries everything. It's nearly perfect in every way. That block is the observer. It's basically a long time ago you would have to do. Oh yeah, that's the whole totem of dying design I did. Basically, it can make pistons spit their block with a one block setup. Oh shit! Damn it! Aw, that's kind of annoying. Hell yeah, I'm the goat. So it's basically just made it like a lot more complex. If you ask any redstoner, hey, what's your favorite block in the game? It's gonna be between the observer and the target block. But if the target block was removed, it'd be like I feel like a lot of people would like the observer over the target. Also, I don't know if you noticed, but it added shulker boxes, and shulker boxes are just essential. So it revolutionizes redstone, revolutionizes storage. I wonder what else it could revolutionize. Maybe hardcore. This is the totem of undying. It's just insane. Yeah, it literally just saves you from death. So, yeah, I don't know. And you can find them with maps. And it introduced this cool new map finding system. I liked that a lot. So, yeah, now there's woodland explorer maps and ocean explorer maps. Also, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it says there's supposed to be like an ocean monument around here, and it just gave me a map of my world. I guess because I updated through versions or something. So this update, I know it's not version defining, it just revolutionized so many things. It gets S tier. So my S tiers are 1.0, 1.4. I'm gonna 1.0, 1.4, 1.9, and 1.11. And then I'll have an S plus tier. I get S is supposed to be like ridiculous, but I don't know. So then there's 1.12. It's mid. It's a C tier update. Let's be honest. Also, where did he put 1.11? He put it in C tier. Jesus Christ. Okay. 1.12. He put it in F tier. So it didn't really. Okay. It was a bad thing at the time, right? Like, Minecraft's falling, and then they come out with this 48 blocks, right? But if you really think about it, it's just because there's 16 dyed variants, all you really did was add 3. All you really did was add 4. Concrete powder, concrete, blaze terracotta, and beds. And really, if you think about it, beds were already in the game in beta 1.3. So you just added a dial version of another block, so only really 3. And if you think about it even further, you only have concrete. I mean, these are basically just the same thing. You added 2 blocks: concrete, glazed terracotta, and the ability to dye things. That's all. Yeah, you added 2 blocks. It's not F tier, but however, glazed terracotta is so fun to work with for floor designs. So I gotta boost it up to C. Next is 1.13. I mean, F tier, I get it. I don't think that's outrageous compared with 1.7 S tier. But 1.13, wow, I just love my crafting tables, don't I? Okay, 1.13 added a lot. So buttons, pressure plates, trap doors of every wood type now. Also the ability to strip blocks, dead coral, and up here there should be a lot of stuff. So turtle shells, which aren't really used, conduits. I need to repair this trident, don't I? I really should. And 2 new potion types, slow falling and turtle master. But these aren't really the meat and cheese. It's really the also prismarine blocks, coral, plus blue art. This is a chroma shulker box, because chroma shulker box was just a non-dyed shulker box, but then they added the actual chroma shulker box. I just swapped them between 1.11 and 1.13 because I thought it looked good. So, I think it's cool, but 1.13, the ability to recognize guidance are really cool. But I'm giving it A tier, not S tier, just because it's a really good update. Definitely changed the future of the game, but it didn't like. And also, I'm starting to think about it. I think I'm just biased for 1.11. I'm gonna give it A tier because I feel like I'm just kind of biased towards it. So our new S tiers are just 1.0, 1.4, and 1.9. Next is 1.14. Now this by itself actually didn't add very much. Well, it did. It didn't add much. So it added just, scaffolding, which I never used ever, bamboo, cornflower, the ouchie rose, sign variants, a bunch of stones, slab stairs and walls of a bunch of block types, and also a couple new stuff, better furnaces, which is really cool, the stone cutter. Stone cutter's really awesome. And a lot of these blocks were going to be useless for quite some time. Some of them still are. And that you, flexion table. But the thing is this revolutionized trading. Mending books, I got my elytra and my bow with mending books before the village update, and I spent 3 days straight looking through strongholds to get these. It was not fun. Having to get mending every single time I got a new thing is added, like mace or tridents, not fun at all. So this definitely changed the game. Also, banner patterns were really fun. I'm not giving this S tier because it did revolutionize the game and change all the textures. We're gonna change S tier to revolutionary, but 1.14 was revolutionary tier. That's just crazy. 1.15, he put it in D tier, and honestly, at first I'm like, yeah, I agree, but also it's cool you don't mess with them. Okay, so this is 15, we added 15 block items. The honeycomb block and honeycomb, the honey block and honey, and the bee's nest and the beehive. However, this is the only thing that matters. This can go to hell. This doesn't matter until 1.17, because they're just forcing uses out of it. That can go to hell. That can go to hell. That can go to hell. This is the only thing that matters. Actually, we need those to obtain it, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. So basically, slime stone, right? Imagine if we had a slime that could... Imagine if we had slime, but, like, they were, like, each other. That's what the honey block is. Basically, really good for redstone. Kicks total ass. Next is 1.16. Oh, I don't have my... I just finished this one, and 1.16 adds a lot. I give it... Do I want to... I'll give it revolutionary tier, because, I, like... Wait, is this guy, like... Okay. 1.16 added. I don't know if he's rating the stuff they added or just like what it was to play. Because that's why he put 1.7 at the top. Apparently, it's just because it's not 1.8. Well, 1.16 adds lodestones, respawn anchors, netherite, target blocks, crying obsidian, crimson, and warped wood, and all this new type of metal blackstone. This is like revolutionary tier because it set the precedent of hey, new stone types, go deep. Also, let's talk about diamond, which by the way, diamond has been the strongest since Indev. By the way, this is the classic build, and this is Indev, the version right after classic. It added this is overclocking plus 8. So there was like nothing. This was revolutionary. 1.17, 1.17, he said bottom of A tier. Bottom of A tier. If these were one update, this would be the best update of all time. But Copper's really fun to work with. Deep Slate's incredibly fun to work with. It's just better. 1.19 is a really fun update. It gets A tier because of Skulk. And the ancient cities are probably the most fun structure to work with. Also, the whole thing about what is it called? What is it called? Swift Sneak, awesome. 1.20 armor trims, cherry wood. It was the update of Whimsy and Joy. It's not revolutionary. It doesn't get revolutionary tier, but it's top of A tier. It's my favorite update in the game. I love it so much. Then 1.21 tricky trials, add the mace, kicks ass, kicks ass. It's just peak. Anyway, I just wanted to call this guy's rankings bad. Yeah.